So Bernard, back-to-back 3-1 victories, but I think it's fair to say this one we probably had to work a little bit harder for.
Yeah, 100%. I think if you look at the result at the end of the game and you've not been at the game, it looks like listen, it is a good result, but it looks like a performance and that we've sort of done better than what we actually did. Credit to Kings Lynn. We did our pre-match analysis. We set up in a certain way to combat what they were. They caught us off guard with how they set up today. So everything that we did away from today in terms of preparation was wrong. That's no one's fault. That's just the manager tweaking it. Credit to them because it took us a good 25 minutes to get into the game and to adapt. And eventually, we did. But make no bones about it, Kings Lynn, run all over us for the first 25 minutes and had some good chances. Mateus has pulled off some good saves. We got in at half time. The players have took instruction at half time. We've come out, we've nullified them for the first 15 minutes, frustrated them, and with the instruction that the players have took on board, we executed it.
Yeah, maybe last season, I hate drawing on last season, but I think it's important we talk about the growth and the journey of the club. Last season, might have found ourselves 2 or 3 goals down, but this season I think we've started to see that togetherness and that extra grit and determination really come into fruition and probably help us ride our luck at times.
Yeah, I think that Kings Lynn first half performance was a hallmark of Radcliffe last season, where we dominated games of football and come away empty-handed, 3-1, 3-0 down or 4-1, whatever it were. But we've got to grips, and I think you talk about togetherness. Lads have matured. We had to sort of have the rough end last season, where we've learnt, we've come away. We've tweaked the formation, we've tweaked people's roles in and out of possession, and credit to the players, the instruction that they're taking on, and it's only minimal. Let's not stand here and say we're magicians and the coaching staff have turned this team around. It's just that we've been consistent with what we do, minimal instruction in terms of not overloading the players with information, and ultimately when you stay in a game of football like you do, you're always going to get opportunities, and you can see with Jordan's goal and Rio, as much as they've missed 3 or 4 good chances first half, the keepers pulled 2 unbelievable saves off there at 2-1. So a game of 2 halves. We stayed in the game, they didn't do, and credit to the players.
I always felt like towards the back end of the game it was always going to take a bit of quality, or it was always going to take a bit of luck. Almost went hand in hand today in terms of, say, Jordan's was more so the luck, but also Rio's was probably more so that bit of quality we were crying out for as well.
Yeah, like I say with Jordan, Jordan was outstanding in games last season and didn't get his goals, and he's now starting to gamble on areas of the pitch better. He's not like doing all his work in wide areas. He's staying in the 6-yard box and he's getting his rewards, and you can't take away the fact what Rio did for that first goal. You know what I mean? He's outstanding. You just don't see that at this level of football. And Rio did all the work, and Jordan got the rewards, and that's credit to Rio and Jordan, because as you've alluded to last season, Jordan did all the work and didn't really get the plaudits for not scoring enough goals, whereas this season he's starting to score goals, and when you've got both centre forwards scoring goals, and then your captain getting on the end of one at the captain, Jordan's a captain, Lois standing captain, getting on the end of it in the last minute, and people say 2-1 with 3 minutes to go, why are you sending your centre half up? Because you're at Kings Lynn, the crowd get behind them when they get the equaliser. We've got to go and get that third to sort of see the game out, and we did. And a long journey home now, but at least we can celebrate the 3 points.
We certainly can, and I think it's fair to note earlier in the season, Lois maybe let himself down with picking up 2 cheap red cards, but this season, since this season, he's been fantastic and really came into his own and really established himself within that back 3.
Yeah, Lois let himself down, and the team and the club and the supporters. He knows that. Lois is an honest man, but I think he's given us back now in terms of that performance and that consistency. Lois is not somebody you dig out much because he's one of the lads, but he cleared the ball off the line last week against Bedford at home, and off camera. People don't see it. He's celebrating, goal and clearance, and credit to Lois, because it's all right going up the other end and scoring a goal and celebrating, but celebrating goal line clearances, which nobody had picked up on. He's all in. He's bought right into what we are. He steadied the ship, and like I say, I'd like to say we're getting better every game. We was not at our best today. Not at our best at all, but to come away to Kings Lynn, win 3-1 when you're not at your best, is again credit to the lads.
It's got to be a good thing though. We've not been at our best and still grinding out a sizable victory as well.
100%, and that's like you say, you allude to like last season about performing and not picking up points. There's an element of identity, the way we want to play. If we're going to play bad every game and win the league, then great. If we're going to play bad every game and finish in the playoffs, that's great. But we still have the identity of wanting to get on the ball and play through the thirds, which I thought Kings Lynn did really, really well today, and we had to take our medicine. But like you say, half time, that 15 minutes at half time was critical. We regrouped. We got the instruction on board, and like I say, they've come out and executed it.
3 or 4 notable changes to the starting 11, obviously one being enforced with Danny Greenfield's suspension, but I felt like all 4 that came in with a point to prove certainly proved that point.
When you come away to Kings Lynn, the last thing you need is 2 central midfielders missing out, i.e. George Glendon and Danny Greenfield. We said at half time about David Ball and Dan Gardner not playing as much as what they'd like to play. And when you come against a full-time outfit that naturally should be fitter in the full-time, Gardner's got through 92 minutes. David Ball's left absolutely everything out there on the pitch. He's run himself. He's been brilliant for the team. We finished the game with Richard Smith, Luke Partington, and Anthony Dudley in centre midfield. No excuses. You've just got to play the cards you dealt with. And last season we might have come here with excuses. Oh, he's out. We've said before, no excuse culture. We play with what we've got, and ultimately, if we lose the game, it might be because of X, Y, and Z. Well, today we've gone and won a game with 3 or 4 excuses, which we've not need to use, and we don't want that excuse platform. We just got to roll our sleeves up, pick the team, pick the formation, go out and execute what we're trying to do. And 95% of the time this season, that's happened. But we've still had some grey areas, and we still will have some grey areas. We've just got to keep improving, try and keep everybody fit. You lose Sarge at half time, people forget about that. Your whole midfield not playing today. So yeah, fair play to the lads that have stepped up.
You've touched on the absentees of Matt Sargent at half time and George Glendon. Any further updates on that?
George is his personal. Jake, that's down to George, but his is a personal issue, and we wish George all the best with that. Like you say, Danny's forced, and obviously Sarge groin injury, so we've now got 2-week break, which couldn't have come at a better time for us. We'll train hard. We'll obviously get these niggles looked at, try and get everybody super fit and ready to go in 2 weeks' time.
It's like you read my mind on what the next question was going to be, but I think a nice way to wrap it up. We've got a nice 2-week break, and then our attention turns back to Chorley, where it was probably last season, I would say, one of our better performances at home. So hopefully looking to replicate that once again.
Absolutely, and we hope that doesn't sort of dent that momentum that we've got at the minute. But like I say, we'll work hard in training. We'll give the lads a Saturday off next week, spend some time with the family, they've earned it, and then we'll be back in the following Tuesday, Thursday, and obviously prepare for Chorley, which we was outstanding in the home game, but let ourselves massively down in the away game. So it's all the making to be a good game.